Thanks.
All right, we are recording. So this is the franchise marketplace. Up on the top, you can see the URL is abcseamless.com/marketplace. You can also notice right here on the right side, you'll see ABC Seamless Franchise Marketplace, so you know you're in the right spot. Some of the other systems have a very similar look to this, so you know you're in the right spot by indicating that franchise marketplace. On the left side, you have your login. So if you have already requested access to the franchise marketplace, you have already been provided a login. So you just simply enter in your username and your password in the fields available. If not, if you're brand new, you'll go to this button right here that says request access. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that right now. And then you would just populate your first name, your last name, whatever your franchise name is, and then your email, and this is the email that you're receiving and being able to send from, as well as your phone number. This email and this phone number do display within the marketplace, so you just want to make sure that they're accurate and people know how to get a hold of you. So once you do that, you can go ahead and hit submit, and then it'll let you know that thank you, the request has been submitted. And then what happens is admin at ABC Seamless will receive that, and then they can make sure you're a valid franchise, and then set you up with your username and password. So I've already pre-populated some information here, so I'm going to go ahead and just pop in with my user. So I have a user set up named John Doe, and pop in that password, and I'm going to go ahead and hit submit. So that's going to bring us into our marketplace. Now, if you've used the warranty system, you'll see that, again, this is pretty familiar, using a lot of the same type of layout and design to keep things consistent. But you'll notice from left to right, we have Marketplace, Messages, My Inventory, My Account, Users, Support Request, and FAQs, or Frequently Asked Questions. Now, once you get into one of these areas, there also is a menu here in the upper left-hand corner that allows you to go in and access those same sections of this system as needed. So the first thing that a lot of folks are going to be going into is the marketplace. And this is, if you're familiar with like an online auction or eBay or anything like that, this is where everything is listed. So this is going to contain information from any franchises that are participating in this marketplace. Everything will show up as long as it has been added. Up on the top, you're going to see we have an area that's going to have kind of your newest items within there. And then below that will be the kind of the standard items that are in the marketplace. You have the ability to see a SKU, a category, a subcategory, a description of that item, a cost, a quantity, unit of measurement, and the year purchased. And then if you click into view on any one of those, you'll get into the screen that actually gives you some more detail about that. So here we can see we have siding, duck mat, green siding, SKU, all that same information that we saw there. And then we can see who it has been listed by. So this is listed by franchise one, and then we have the address and the phone number, and then you can give that person a phone call, and these are the people that are available to contact at that location. If you want something a little bit more immediate, you also have the ability to send a message. Now, if you do this, what's going to happen is it's going to send a message to the individuals on record, and then it is also going to have that message available within that marketplace. So I'm going to go ahead and just send a test message. Let's see, what do I want to put in here? So we're just going to say this is a test message. So I'm going to go ahead and submit that. It'll notify you up top there that says your message has been sent. If you click your back button, that'll take you right into your marketplace again. So again, this is where you can view stuff, you can interact, you can see more information about that. So let's say that I'm looking for something really super specific. As we get more and more franchises on board using the marketplace system, this list is going to grow. And so let's say you're looking for something very specific, and I just want to look for something that's red. And so if I'm just using my search in the upper right hand corner, you'll notice that it is going to limit my results, and it's only going to show me what is applicable for my search. Now this is going to work for category, subcategory, description, a specific price, a specific quantity, or a specific year purchased. And it'll be able to pull those all up for you. If you want to clear that out, you would just hit that X button, and then that'll open it up. Another thing that you can do is if you want to do any type of filtering, by default, it's going to filter on our SKU, but we can go ahead and ascend and descend based upon these little arrows up at the top. So if you want to see the cheapest thing or the most expensive thing, you can flip those back and forth. So I'm going to go into my messages. Now, this inventory here is actually my inventory. So you can see that there was a request that came in today at 9:10, which is actually 10:10. Came from this particular person, and then it's a request for that item, and then I can go ahead and view that. So I can see what that person's message was. This is a test message, and then I can go ahead and respond. What are you interested in? And then we can hit submit, and then that is going to go back to that end user. So right now I'm just communicating with myself, which is why you're going to see that I can now see that that response came in like so. So very similar to kind of like an email system. Now, one thing to note, I'm going to go ahead and switch something here. All right. So now you can see this is an example of what a message would look like when it came in. So it's going to come into your email inbox as well. It's going to be ABC Franchise Marketplace, whoever it's to, and then it's going to give you a notification that says a message has been submitted regarding an item in your ABC Seamless Franchise Marketplace listings. Information is detailed below. So it's going to give you who the contact was, what that message was, and then you're able to click on that link and go in and look at that particular message and information. So if you're not actively using the marketplace, if somebody does send you a notification, then you do have the ability to, again, get that in your email. I'll swing back over here. All right. So the next area we have is your inventory. So the inventory that we have is one inventory per franchise. And so from here, we can see the last time it was updated, and then we can go in and we can view it or we can edit it. If we want to view it, you're going to see that it's going to have the respective items that are available. And then if you click that view, it'll take us into a screen like so. If you wish to edit anything in here, you can make a request for an edit. And so here I am going to change the cost of this green siding. So I want to change this cost to $555. I go ahead and hit submit. Okay, you'll notice that the green siding, that cost is still $123 because what happens on the back end is an email is sent out to ABC Seamless, to the administrators, and they'll say that franchise one would like to update SKU 9001 and change the cost from $123 to $555. And then so what they do on their end is basically click an approve button, and then it will change that cost real time and flip it over. So I'm actually going to hop over onto a different thing and do that right now. So if you are making changes and things like that, one thing to note is ABC Seamless would be doing those updates, performing those types of requests during regular business hours. So if you are doing something on a weekend or in the evening, then they might not get to it until the next business day. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and refresh this now, and you'll notice that the cost has incremented up to $555. So you can see kind of how that works. Now, the other thing is your delete option. So if you wish to delete an item, you can click that delete. And same thing for that. It is going to kick out a request, and then ABC Seamless can either approve that um, or not. So for that one, I am going to go ahead and approve it. And now you can see that that one has been removed. So pretty easy in terms of seeing what you got. You have the same type of filtering functionality, search functionality to be able to access those things. And so let's say that you want to do a new inventory. You want to change some stuff out. So what you can do is you can download a template. And so I'm going to go ahead and click to download this. And then I will switch my screen here.
And Andy, while you're doing this, one thing to note is all these fields here, you don't have to fill them all in. It's just, so if you want to just have a category and a description and the dollar amounts on there with the quantity, you don't need to fill in every single piece of information on here. The SKU was built in there just in case we had a SKU system built, so that you're probably not going to be utilizing the SKU field.
All right. So here you can see each respective field. The way that this is developed, these are the fields that are available to display within that marketplace. And so you can't add new fields. You have to, maintain these ones as is. And so, like Scott said, we have our category. So we're going to do coil, and I'm not going to put a subcategory. We're going to have a very generic description, and that's pretty much going to be it for this one. And then I'm going to go ahead and save it. Franchise one, and export that out. So now within my franchise marketplace, I can come right in here, and previously we went to view, and that showed us all those. So now we're going to go in and we're going to click edit. So right here is where you choose your data file. And there's a note here that says, please note, by uploading a data file, you replace your existing inventory. So if there's any specific items that you wanted to keep on there, you'd want to make sure that they are included in whatever that file is that you create. So in this case, I only have that one. I'll go back and actually add the other ones back in so you can see what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that file and go ahead and hit submit. So now you can see this is the new marketplace entry that I have put in. So if we go back to our full marketplace, you're going to see that's the only one that we have in there. So in the event that I wanted to maybe keep one of those other ones, I will show you what that looks like. So I'm just going to add a new row and then pop those in. So we're just going to add the one in there. All right, so now we have 2 items in our inventory, and we'll come back over. And so again, we're going to come in, go to my inventory, go into edit, choose my new file I made, hit submit, and now we have both those in there.
So Andy, just to jump in here, when you're doing these files, it makes the most sense to always have an active file on your desktop with everything that you have active and then what you've sold on there. So if you are to adjust your inventories, you have actually the inventory that's current, right? So anytime you're uploading this file, you want to make sure that you take out the stuff that you sold. So you'd have a file on your desktop or the cloud or wherever you want to have it, and then you would just add accordingly, if that makes sense. And if you want to explain a little bit more in detail, that would be great as well.
Yep, and that's just, good practice. The file that I had up there, it's basically just a template. So to get started, you would just go in and hit this download file, and then from there, you just continue to build onto that. And like Scott said, when you don't want something on there, you can go ahead and remove it. Or if you want to make edits, you can go ahead and do that too. These quicker edits, like I said, if you wanted to do this, go in and make a request for an edit, and change whatever you want within here. This requires ABC Seamless to go through and approve that. But you also have the ability from your document, to delete one, change that price, whatever, and then re-upload it.
And we might not have this rule on right now to where you have to have it go through us. We're not sure yet. Right when we launch, we want to just kind of monitor it for a month or so. So eventually the possibility is there to where when you delete something, it automatically does it live time. So I just want to let you know out there, nothing is set in stone. We're going to get feedback from you guys as you use it, and then try to take that and cater to what you guys are wanting it, the functionality to be. Okay.
All right, so marketplace, messages, inventory, my account, this just details information about your particular user, username, password, what type of user that is. Whoever signs up the first time is considered the main admin, and they have the ability to add new users. So as you can see on here, we have the John Doe user, but also Scott is a user. And so within here, you do have the ability to add new users. Now, keep in mind that we're trying to have this system be synced up with the warranty system and the Duck Store, so you're using the same username and password, which is why we're doing that request login or request access. But that is only going to be for your primary user. So, let's say you have somebody in the warehouse that never has to touch the warranty, never has to go to the Duck Store, but you want them to be able to be in here to basically look at what's out there on the marketplace, or maybe update the lists. You have the ability to go in and create that user, and you just basically pop in a person's name, username, password, and then they're immediately added to this, and it's only for your guys's specific franchise marketplace area. So again, that's users. If somebody leaves employment, things like that, this one you do have the ability to go in and edit that user if you want to change their password if they've forgotten or something like that, or you can go ahead and delete that user. So this you do have the ability to delete and edit. Next area, support request. If you guys have used the warranty system, this is a support request that comes to ABC admin as well as myself. So if there's an issue with something, this works really good because it allows us to triage them very effectively. But you just pop in your contact information and then whatever your support issue is, and then hit submit, and then that will basically pop out to us so we can see what it is and what's going on and assist you from there. The more thorough you can in your support issue content, the better for us to be able to troubleshoot and get a resolution for you. Or if it's some education, some training, how do I do this type of scenario, that's where we can best assist. And then lastly, FAQs. So from within here, this is pretty incomplete at this point in time, but Scott and I are working at building this out into having some good dedicated help. We'll have like probably this particular video. We'll have a link in here that'll allow you to be able to view that, as well as maybe some other short videos on how to do certain things, or whatever comes across in some of these support requests. If we're seeing some commonality, we'll go ahead and add some answers into there too. Once you are logged into this, you're logged in. And if you do want to log out, you can go ahead and hit that log out option up here, and that allows you to do that. Let's go ahead and log out. And brings me back in. So again, kind of as a recap, these are your major areas that you can access. Marketplace is going to list all the items that you have available, as well as everybody else. It is searchable. It is filterable. Once you hit a specific item, you have a franchise's information as well as their phone number, what people at that franchise to contact, and then you have the ability to send them a message regarding that. Whether it's a question or you want to commit to purchasing it, things of that nature. One of the things to note, that any type of transaction and the communications are basically between yourself as the franchise, potential buyer, and then the franchise seller. So ABC Seamless at a corporate level, isn't a part of that conversation or transaction or anything like that. So you want to make sure that you are communicating appropriately with whoever is the seller or the potential purchaser. If you do run into any issues, again, that's where you can submit that request, or give Scott a call, because I believe he is spearheading this. But that will work great for you. Again, you have access to everything from your main dashboard from this little left menu. So you can get into your messages, your inventory, your account, users, support requests, and FAQs. In your messages, this is any communication that you have coming in regards to conversations that you're having with people about an item. And that also correlates with an email. So with this one right here, this is what are you interested in? There would be an email, a physical email that would go out with this too. So a person can always come in here and look at their messages, or they can, just look at them in their email too. But is best to respond to that user using this communication mechanism as such. You do have the ability to delete these. So let's say that you've sold an item or you're done talking to that particular person, you can go ahead and delete that message, and then it goes away for you. These ones are also searchable. So based upon what you're looking for, you can search and filter any of those items. Your inventory is solely for you. This is where, again, you would want to download that initial template, create your inventory listing, and then from there, you have the
Andy,
ability to go in and upload that.
can I jump in with a question here?
Go right ahead.
So the best way to do this is to just have an active CSV file that you can delete and add accordingly and then upload that current file. Is that right?
That would be correct. That way you're controlling it. The mechanism, like you said before, the mechanism has been made. So once you have uploaded that file, you do have the ability to go in and edit and delete. Right now,
But right now you can't add anything to this list without uploading
correct.
information from a CSV file, correct?
That is the only way to add new content within here.
So we'll probably do a short video on how to do that. I know most of you guys know how to do that. It's just having an active CSV file that you've got backed up somewhere is probably the easiest way we could think of how to organize this. So you can go and do multiple new additions and take multiple sales that you've traded with other franchisees, money for goods. So I think that's the best way to do it. And right now, if anybody has feedback on that, though, just email me over at scott@abccmos.com and we could definitely look at it. So
Yeah, as a kind of reiteration of that. So we didn't have the add as an option at this time, simply for time saving. So, for example, if you wanted to add an inventory item, you'd have to go to create inventory item, and then you have to fill out all your information and then hit submit. Whereas, if you have a working document, then you can just copy and paste, move stuff around, and then you're just uploading it one time, versus having to touch things. Every inventory item you'd have to submit individually to get in there. So once you have your template set up and formatted, then it's really quick to use that upload feature, versus again creating each one individually.
could you show us one more time how you did that?
Yep,
Just
certainly.
download the template and then throw some info in and then upload it and then.
Yep. So within your inventory, so my inventory, up here at the top, we have this download template option. You go ahead and click that, and then it'll bring it to your file, download your file. Depending on what browser you have, it'll download it as such. And then you can go ahead and open that file, and I'll switch over to that. And this gives you your bare bones base template. So you only have your main titles there for what you have. So from here, you'd populate with whatever is applicable. Obviously you need at least one thing in there. But like Scott said, there is no requirements as to, each individual. So SKU, we kept it super open-ended, so you can have a primary category, a secondary category, a description about your item you're listing, and then the cost, unit of measurement if applicable, how much you got, and then that year purchased. And that year purchase we have on there, just as a way to, kind of weight things as, again, as necessary. So if you don't have it, you can pop in NA, or you can leave it totally blank.
And then also with that leaving blank, that's a good part here. If you have all these cells that are blank, these will reflect into the inventory on the site. So if you don't delete the blank cells, all of your blank cells will be in the uploaded inventory from the CSV file.
Yeah, and so right now I, basically have this as 10 items, and then you can add more to it as necessary. But in this case, I'm just going to pop in a couple. And then delete those. So there we are. And then I'm going to export that. And I'm using a Mac here, so I'm exporting it to a CSV file, and then export. So now it's ready. Now, if I wanted to make updates in the future, you know, I can come in here, tweak this, and then just re-upload that file. So you'd want to, again, make sure that this is on your desktop or, you know, saved on the network or somewhere. So it's your master file to be able to work within these things. So now from here, we are at our inventory listing. Again, you can get there just directly from my inventory, and then we go into edit, and this is how you can edit that information. So this is our second one. Like I said before, anything that you upload will purge your prior stuff and then create a new record of it within there like so. Again, on users, you have the ability to add your own users for your own franchise within here. Basically gives them access to all the areas you have. You do have the ability to edit that user account as well as delete them as needed. Support requests, you can use that to send any type of a request to ABC Seamless. Those will be responded to within business hours. And then obviously FAQs, that area is going to continue to grow as we get some questions, and we'll have some video access in there. So if you want to see a quick tutorial on how to manage your inventory, you'll be able to review that right then and there. Any more questions pop in, Scott?
Right now, nothing more has come in. If anybody wants to be unmuted, just send a message too, and then you can ask your questions without having to type. A big thing here is just to know this. We wanted to release this for, I suppose it's been about a year, I suppose. But this is all free. Jerry agreed to do it all free of charge. We footed the bill. We got it all ready to rock. Andy finished up all the loose ends on his end. So your goal today is to, within this next week or so, just sign up and then start playing around with it, because the only way you're going to be able to see any inventory on this is if you guys upload your inventory. So if you're wanting to go in there, you think right away you're going to sign in and see a bunch of things you can buy that are out there. Right now, the first person that we haven't, I don't think Fargo is even going to upload anything for another week at least. So whoever uploads first is going to be the only one that's on there with actually a tradable inventory. And also, when you have those point of contacts with that email and that phone number, we left it that way just in case you want to trade photos of that coil or product as well. And then the year purchased is just kind of a staple to let them know, well, it was 2008, so I'm going to give you 50 cents on the dollar for this versus paying, 80% or 90% of that cost. So it's all kind of open up to your own kind of flea market, if you will, of trading. I got 10-year-old coil. It might not be the same as if you have a 1 or 2-year-old coil, So it's all based on you communicating out. And of course, if something goes terribly wrong as far as what they're representing as a product, we'll have to step in to some degree. But for the most part, this is just a channel. And we're just the mediator on this, the channel for you guys to communicate and trade excess product that you want to get rid of. That's really what it's built like. Let's see.
And then any like physical purchases, things like that, shipping, transportation, that between the seller and the buyer as well.
Yep, everything, all the transactions will happen between the two different stores that are trading, or however they're planning on doing it. I'll trade a cow for 17 squares of coil. Whatever you want to do. I mean, the sky's the limit, really. However creative you can be, you could trade 6 squares of spring green for 6 squares of slate blue. Anything like that can happen, and I think the best way to do it is the message system right away to get an email delivery, and then after you get that point of contact, just communicate and just make a phone call and say, hey, what's going on here? 40 cents per foot on this, or 40 $40 a square, whatever you want to do. So it's wide open right now. There's a question that came in, but it's about a warranty, and I think we'll probably leave that question for them to reach out after this, if that's okay, Andy.
Yep, absolutely.
Is there any other questions, or you want to go through anything that Andy has presented here today? It's relatively, as far as we deem it, a very simple format for you to be able to adjust your inventory that you want to sell, and then have all the contact information for the other stores out there that are also selling or trading their product online. And we want to make it as functional and easy to use. So here's the thing. If there's anybody that wants to send me a message, or I suppose Andy a message about the functionality of this, we could definitely take a look at it and see if there's something we can improve on. But right now, the goal in the next month or two, is to just try this out and see how it works. That's the big thing here. Any other questions out there? Throw them in the chat box. Otherwise, just send a message on chat saying you want to open up. Otherwise, we'll wait another maybe minute here, and then we'll be wrapping up here. Andy, very much appreciate you being the host here today. It's really helpful to have somebody with your ability and knowledge on how to create these sites and make them very functional and easy to use. So appreciate that, and still working on some different ideas for the future for certain databases and adding inventory to their own stores and whatnot. But right now, for the next couple months, we're going to be kind of babysitting this to make sure that it's easy to use for you guys on the call here today.
Perfect. Thank you.
Andy, could you think of anything else that you would ask yourself? There's no other questions coming in.
Not at this time.
Oh, we got a comment. Thank you, guys. Nice work, guys. Thanks. Hey, thank you for joining. We really appreciate everybody out there. We wanted to launch this for a while. It's finally launched. Take advantage of this as soon as we get a entry of whoever's going to be managing your excess ABC marketplace inventory. As soon as it gets set up, put that inventory in so we can start using it. All right, wrap up. Andy, thank you very much. Thanks for all the franchisees out there. And of course, the tagline, have a seamless day. Oh, there's one more question that came in. When posting prices, is it assumed that it does not include freight? It's a good question. The best way I could, or myself and Andy, you can add to this if you want to, is to have that price as the price point only for product only, and then you guys would discuss how you would have that freighted to each location. Does that make sense?
Right. And in the description box, that could also, you provide more detail, so if you wanted to say, hey, freight additional, freight options are this XYZ, that description box is, pretty, you're still on here. So this thing will grow as necessary. So if you click into your view, whatever you have in here will just extend out. So if you needed to add more detail about something, either describing the product or, how things are going to work, that's perfectly a good place to have it.
The more info, the better, probably, on the description. So it's $500 for this plus whatever the freight comes to on the weight. But great question, though. It's something that I really didn't think about, the actual freighting to locations. All right, wrapping up. Everybody have a seamless day, and just send over emails to Scott or Andy, and we'll be able to answer them and get stuff organized enough to where we can take a look at some of the questions, comments added to the FAQ section, and get a couple videos uploaded to show you in more detail of how to actually upload your inventory and everything else that goes along with the marketplace site. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.